Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Supergirl. This time we are on to episode 3 of season 6. Last time we had a pretty big one. We had Supergirl, Akara, even actually meeting her father, her Kryptonian father, in the Phantom Zone. He had been there pretty much from the beginning, at least even in this new post-crisis timeline since the destruction of Krypton, and he is also the reason that Argo survived at all, since he actually stayed back to activate the shields on Argo before it got turned into like the bottle kind of planet city thing that it became. So he stayed there, and then he took a quick kind of teleportation escape into the Phantom Zone. He's been trapped in there ever since. So we saw him, and so they kind of spent the episode kind of arguing back and forth whether or not escaping or even trying to escape was a good idea based on like the amount of phantoms and exactly what the phantoms do to you. So that was an interesting thing to see. And then by the end of the episode, they actually found the Phantoms actually using a portal to kind of, travel through dimensions, through like various points in space and whatnot. So, since they kind of found out that the Phantoms are the only ones who are able to do that, now they have to actually catch a Phantom to try and, ride it back through its own portal, which I can only imagine how chaotic and catastrophic that's going to be, since the Phantom will not surrender easily, and it also will fight to take them down in some way through its mental dementory kind of powers that it has and everything. So that should be fun to watch. But back on Earth, we met Silas, an alien vampire from the planet Transylvania. We got an alien vampire, and he lost his husband to the Phantom Zone, and even tried and somewhat failed to actually get him back from the Phantom Zone too. But he actually knew how to break in. So the team tracked him down and found him and enlisted his help with opening up another portal. But then they found out that Crisis changed the Phantom Zone too. So the Phantom Zone, instead of being one thing, like the Earth's conversion to just one Earth Prime, but then the Phantom Zone already being one sole dimension, one singular dimension, kind of splintered off into very many different Phantom Zones, all with different frequencies that they had to tap into. So tracking down Kara, even once they opened the Phantom Zone, was an even trickier process, so now they have to figure that out too, and the team is not handling it well. I think Jojon was understandably angry and kind of frustrated, and Dreamer was struggling with her powers and, like trying to accurately, decipher her dream visions and find out what exactly was going on, and even trying to actually kind of use her powers to triangulate Kara's position in the Phantom Zone. And then we had Alex just on the brink of losing hope and being consoled by Kelly, and Kelly was a golden hero throughout the entire episode, just consoling, Silas and consoling Alex by the end. Like her superpower is literally going around listening to people and then uplifting them straight afterwards. Like she's a human embodiment of gold or something. So seeing some Kelly stuff was really cool. I'm hoping we actually get to see her suiting up in some sense as Guardian, or at least using the shield and teaming up with Alex and being Guardian and Sentinel together and everything. But you know what? I guess we'll have to wait and see. If the writers are kind enough, then they will grant us these wishes. But if not, then I guess we have other things to turn to. But either way, it was cool. Seeing Kelly being Kelly, seeing Kelly actually using her skill sets and using her ears and her heart to help people was really cool nonetheless. So that was awesome. We had Lex too. The trial of Lex Luthor was taking place in National City, and Eve was the initial one. Like I think Lena was pretty much unconfirmed. She hadn't really reached forward to say that she was going to testify, and even then, like she was very reluctant to, because her years suffering under Lex's manipulation were years of trauma and abuse and all sorts of horrible things, so it's not really something she really wanted to revisit. But I think she didn't really specifically have to revisit every little thing, but then the main thing being the Nono Cherry stuff and him using that and Obsidian to enslave the entire world and all that kind of jazz was all she really needed to kind of uncover. And then she came in clutch in the end and exposed Lex for the over egotistical maniac that he really is, and exposed him for like how power hungry he is and how willing he is to hurt people in the name of power and all that kind of stuff. So it didn't really go to completely plan. He still kind of went free in the end, thanks to Otis's kind of manipulation of actually getting through to the judge and the jury and everything. So he still went free, but Lena has now decided that she is willing to actually take him down, whatever it takes. And if she has to suffer consequences, then so be it. But you know what? Let's not have Lena have to suffer anything this season. Let's have her satisfactionally, let's have her beating Lex and joining the team in a super duper satisfying way to end off this show, to end off this season, to end off the kind of story of Lena and Luthor. Let's have her finding some happiness and some peace as a character and finding happiness with the team and everyone, you know, so let's have some of that. But in the end, Lex did still go free and he's reunited with Lillian and he's now plotting the next stage of his, you know, very overextended life and everything, so not so fun. So I'm curious to see where they go with everything else. And exactly, and I think the news report did mention Lena herself maybe being placed under suspicion of certain charges too. So I'm curious to see if that's going to escalate into something else or if she's actually going to be okay. But I guess we'll see. But that is pretty much all I can remember from the last one. So on to episode number 3 of this final season. In terms of reaction, this will just be the highlights as part of the fair use stuff. So if you guys want to catch the full unedited version, the full length reaction, that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that one over there. But yeah, on to episode 3 of Supergirl, season 6. Let's go. Oh, we're doing this now. I thought you were going to plan something. I thought it was going to be a plan of attack, but no. Oh, you're just traveling through the Phantom Vortex. Oh. Oh, jeez. Oh, broken leg. Great. Oh, Jesus. Does the Phantom Zone weaken her somehow? Can she really get a broken leg like that? I mean, it was a hard fall, but still. Like, isn't she meant to be immune to that? Thanks to super strength and everything?
You shouldn't even be able to sleep at night. You should be haunted by a Kryptonian heart beating ceaselessly beneath your floorboards.
Oh, jeez, he's gonna take it out on the TV. Okay. Yeah, Brainy is angry. He is an angry Brainiac. Oh, she's watching the thing, the recording crystals, the Old Testament. Without
her, I wouldn't be the hero, the person.
Oh boy.
I thought you weren't gonna watch that.
That's a great jacket. That's a great maroony leather jacket. I love it. Yeah.
Hey. And I will sit with you, right here. I can't breathe.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even deserve air.
I don't like this. This is pain. I don't enjoy pain. Why are you giving me pain?
If I pick up the phone or not, there's...
After a short incubation period,
yeah.
Life force leaves the
nice werewolf style scratch. Has he? Did he just turn into a phantom? Did he just turn into a phantom? Oh no! Oh no! Alex! 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 No! Alex! Oh no! Alex!
Things don't heal in the Phantom Zone.
Oh, things don't heal. So they break, but they also don't heal. Damn.
You must have made one hell of a criminal.
I'm not a criminal.
Sure. And I'm a princess.
I was sent here by a madman.
Was she a princess? Can we get any info as to who she is? I'm growing more and more curious. She seems resourceful and sneaky. And she has a magic ball.
It's a powerful tool.
Are you a fifth dimensional imp?
Do you know many imps?
Just one.
Mrs. Spitlick. Yeah, she's from his dimension.
You know Mixie.
Mixie, that
is a wild card.
Yeah, that crazy little shit.
The Foundation is just a sham to buy experimental weapons from Kazmir, but you and I are going to funnel the money directly to the Luthor wing of National City's Children's Hospital instead.
Damn.
Do you think you can hack into this account and make that
happen? Donating all his money to a more charitable cause.
Nothing would delight me more.
Yeah, that is amazing. Yeah, there's nothing he would hate more than actually helping people. Oh, McGann's. Oh, no, she's been scratched as well. She's infected. She's infected. Tell me we're not losing McGann to the Phantoms. Tell me this isn't happening.
Princess Nyx Lake.
She is a princess.
You're actually
yeah, she is a princess. Princess Nyxis Pidlick.
I guess we both told the truth.
Huh.
But first he killed my older brother.
Wow, so he took out all the potential heirs. Every potential heir.
You're not useless.
Far from it. You helped Kara get this far.
You're resourceful. Look how much you've helped me already.
Look at you move with that crutch.
Oh, your tea got $10.23.
I have the Galaxy Gazette on the phone.
Oh, damn.
Otis, pay a little visit to the hospital on behalf of my darling,
No,
generous.
don't you dare let Otis within 10 feet of that place. Oh, God. Oh, God, he blew up the children's hospital.
The cause of the fire was faulty wiring. When asked for comment, Lex Luthor noted that his sister, Lena Luthor, was in charge of all recent upgrades to the wing.
You crafty son of a bitch. Oh, she did it. She broke the chain. She broke the bracelet.
What's going on?
My magic is back.
Literally. Well, that's good, right? That's going to be useful. Your
Really back?
magic's come back. It's going to be useful. Can she heal the leg? She can heal the leg, right? She can heal the leg. She healed the leg, okay. I mean, it's going to still be a great splint regardless. You might want to keep it around.
I hate him so much. I hate his face. I hate his voice. I hate his suits. I hate his never-ending games of depravity. I wish he would just die. I wish we could kill him.
We should kill him. First, with just the tiniest rewiring of his home, we can deliver a near-fatal electric blow. He'll be paralyzed, but he'll still be aware of what's happening to him. We'll dismember the body and scatter the pieces across the universe. I know exactly which planets have atmospheres with pressures high enough to decompose carbon in an instant.
Okay, Dexter Morgan. Just cool the beans
He
there.
can't kill Lex.
Why not? How do I make these feelings go away?
Itty bitty boxes won't work anymore.
Brainy, we were wrong. It's okay to feel rage. You just gotta let it out and then let it go.
I mean, you can't kill him, but surely you can beat the crap out of him, right? Just leave him, you know, broken and bruised. That's not completely. Ooh. Oh, Brainy.
I miss her.
Me too.
A modified Faltor Pan, as it were. Star Trek 3, Search for Spock. It'll allow us to refuse Jean's piece of Madan's soul to her body.
Oh god, I always took him as more of a Trekkie than a Star Wars fan. Yeah, Star Wars it took him time to get into.
Brainy, will you be my wingman?
It would be my utmost pleasure.
Yeah,
You
great.
get to rerouting the watch.
I love watching Lena work with the team and work in the tower. Yeah. Oh god, I love that suit up. I love that suit up. Yeah, Hand of the Warrior. Oh, she gets a gun. She gets a gun. And he gets
Nice choice.
whatever the hell that is. Yeah, great. Great. There we go. Oh, yeah, duck and shoot. Yeah, great teamwork. Oh, it's spreading. It's spreading. Oh, she's changing. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, yes, Callie. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, damn. Oh. She has ice burn. Is that a thing? Yeah, there we go. Boom. Oh, nice one. Back into the cage you go. There we go.
You put children in danger just to get back at me.
Did they die? Did the kids die? Did we get confirmation on that?
No,
I'm leaving Luthor Corp. For good.
you can't leave.
Oh,
Gotta
damn.
protect this place from the monster that is Lex Luthor.
Honestly? Your own hubris.
Huh.
Left your own devices, you'll self-destruct. You always do. Goodbye, Lex.
That's it. Yeah.
Can't just
Exit
walk
stage
away.
right.
I do hate you.
Yeah.
I just love me more.
I love her. I love her. I love her to bits and pieces. Yeah, exit stage right. Oh god, Lena, the strength that she possesses. Jesus Christ.
I had a hunch that you'd be a good one to bind to the Jean Jones.
I'm not bad.
Oh, that's cute.
I couldn't save anyone today.
No, you did a great job. You did a fantastic job. You held your ground.
Move in with me.
Ah, Next
I want
step.
to wake up every morning and tell you how much I love you. Because life is crazy and it's unpredictable, and all that really matters is that we share the little things with the people that we love. So
Yeah, next step. Move in. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Alex Danvers. Yes.
Whoa, oh,
Boys,
yeah, the
you know, you really shouldn't
princess.
sharpen your knives quite so loudly. It makes it super easy to find you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yep, her magic. Mhm.
Getting you out.
Maybe there's a safer way to travel through portals without catching a ride with a phantom.
Oh, breaking your legs, yeah.
You mean my magic? You think I could do it?
Hell yeah.
I could come with you.
Yeah.
I could get out of here.
Hell
There's only
yeah.
one way to find out.
Yeah, you deserve an escape too. That's the end of it. Okay, yeah. What a fantastic episode. What an episode. Oh, yeah, that episode was great. Yeah, you know what? This episode either gave you, like, tears and a fluttery heart, or, it gave you tears and a fluttery heart, but whether that was a product of a joyous scene or a kind of very, emotionally stressful scene, it's completely dependent on the scene, but there were plenty of scenes like that in this episode. See, I have no idea where to start with this. I've written so much down, or at least so many different kind of episode points down. I think I'll start with the Phantom Zone stuff. I think that's a decent place to start. It's pretty much at the top of my kind of list. So yeah, the mysterious woman. We finally get a name and a point of origin. So she is. I think it's not Nixie. I thought I literally thought she said Nix is spelled like Nixie, but no, it's Nixley. Nixley, NXLY. So I'm just gonna call her Princess Nixley because I can't remember what her actual full first name is. Or even her just name. I don't know if she has a first and second name, but either way, she's a princess from the fifth dimension, like a fifth dimension, a person, a being of fifth dimensional origin, similar to Nixie Spillick. And yeah, I think when they mentioned Nixie, I instinctively remembered the very, very sneaky little shit that we got very early on in the show, like season 2, the one that was actually head over heels in love with Kara, played by a much younger dude, and constantly playing pranks. Like, that's the one I remembered instinctively, but then she actually mentioned that, he's actually turned over a new leaf and he's become a new person and he's actually making amends. And I was like, oh, wait, yeah, we did have him in season 5 again for, like, the 100th episode. Like, yeah, he came back and he was the one who showed Kara all the alternate versions of her life where she told Lena or didn't tell Lena and stuff like happened and everything. So he was played by a different actor too. For personally, like, a much more recognizable actor too. And then he actually was going around actively amending all of his wrongdoing. So he did turn over. He actually did become like a better person. So yeah. So this time we meet Princess Nixley, and she was banished by her father himself, by her father, the king of whatever kingdom she held from. But she was an heir. She and her brother. She had an older brother. She and her brother were heirs to the throne, and then simply by virtue of having heirs and also other kind of potentially other kind of power wielders, like he killed her brother because I think he was older, but so he was older, so by definition of that he was actually closer to the throne than she was, and then he was actually also fairly, I think it's safe to say he was fairly more socially kind of connected to, because since he was actually loved by the people and he was known to be kind and generous and an actual kind of like an actual more appealing kind of candidate for the throne. So he killed her brother, and then he saw her as less than useless and inadequate and all that kind of jazz. So then he just banished her to the Phantom Zone and actually sent her in with like her power dampening cuffs and everything. And she still had her magic ball. I think she mentioned that was like the one thing she managed to actually sneak out of her realm before she was banished. So that was the one piece of her power that she was actually able to harness. So she was a princess. She was a princess with magic, and I'm very curious to know more about her. I think this episode just kind of it gave us like enough to get to know her, but I feel like there's a lot more that she can do, and especially now, like she literally went from being like this, being a highly resourceful kind of powerless princess to then like also one who was somewhat without hope, similar to her father, because she even mentioned like how not having her magic made her feel exactly as useless as her father used to describe her, and even actually, she said even looking at her bracelet is just, all she could ever be reminded of was how her father saw her as useless and inadequate and like a useless and simultaneously a threat to the throne as well. So yes, in the end, Kara and her, paragon of hopeness and her kind of motivational talks, about believing in yourself and, being more than just what your powers are, like still reached into Nixley's heart and actually managed to accelerate her own process, and she managed to break free and even heal up Kara's thing. So yeah, so the Phantoms, I think that whole thing confused me too, because I was like, wait, for one thing, she's injured, but also it's not healing, but then she actually mentioned, in the Phantoms, nothing ever heals. So not only is her own physical strength actually depleted to the point where she can actually sustain injuries, but they also just don't heal at all. So it's highly unrecommended to actually walk on a broken leg if you actually do want to heal. So they made her a really cool split. Again, she is super resourceful. She actually managed to trick the others into thinking that one of their dudes was dead, and even that there were phantoms coming over the ridge and all that kind of stuff, and even actually managed to put together like a splint. I mean, I don't know how you get materials in the Phantom. I mean, if ships are there, if ships crash there, you can probably like salvage like a few parts here and there, like even among like the Phantoms roaming around and doing their daily patrolling. But even then, like regardless, she's resourceful. She managed to actually put together some cloth and whatever, and managed to actually put together a pretty cool splint, And even walking sticks, even the ones that you tuck under your armpits and then you use that to walk along. So she did that, and then in the end, I think in the end they didn't need to use it because she still gained enough hope to reharness her magic again and to actually gain her powers back. So then she actually used her magic to snap her fingers back into place. So I mean, it's cool nonetheless. It was cool nonetheless to see that she actually could put something together to actually help her even temporarily. But then I think it would be a lot more awkward actually having to kind of slow down and then like watch her hobble around the Phantom Zone trying to find her father, instead of actually having her being able to walk and run at like regular paces and everything. So it's cool to see that she could do it, even if it didn't really, get used in the end. And hey, I mean, you can still take it back to Earth and stuff, and maybe even upgrade it, or I don't know. I don't know. It seems like something you can still do. Like you never know when another Phantom is going to try and re-break your leg, and you might need like a spin in the end. But hey, she's resourceful, and that proved it. So that much alone is cool. But yeah, but she is also the one who revealed to Kara that the Phantom Zone has fractured. She actually said that she herself has actually been having all these different visions and dreams and stuff of like these different flashes of various alternate timelines and realities, like different lives that she's lived. So like like alternate. But I don't know if fifth dimensional, because fifth dimensional people can like just by nature they can actually travel between dimensions. I don't know if they would be if they would be. I guess it kind of makes. I guess it kind of makes sense. I was going to say I don't know if they would actually be affected as directly as people on Earth or people within more human dimensions. But I guess because it felt like the crisis affected all dimensions indiscriminately, I guess it definitely could affect all of them in some way. But I think the visions could also definitely make sense. But then for them, because they hail from another dimension and they can actually travel between dimensions, maybe for them they kind of understand things on a better wavelength because they know how dimensions work and how they kind of coexist how they used to coexist with one another anyway. So now Nixley herself is kind of come to the realization that this must be what happened to the Phantom Zone. So she then revealed that truth to Kara, and Kara even said that she's actually been having flashes of her own and that she's kind of identified it as alternate lives she's lived and everything. So that was cool. So now they know that. Now I think honestly, like just waiting for Kara to break out of the Phantom Zone with her father and with Nixley is going to be easier than actually going to the effort of actually breaking into the Phantom Zone and expecting things to go well from there. So I guess it's just a matter of time. But yeah, that whole sequence, those whole sections of the episode were cool nonetheless, and I'm really looking forward to seeing hopefully Nixley and her father both make it out. I think I can't help but wonder if it's going to be a case of you can go, but you can only take one other person with you, so then she has to choose between Nixley and her father, and that's going to be like a whole dramatic thing, like choose the father you just got back and thought was dead for years, or choose the princess who's looking for a new path in life and was kicked out by her own people and is now searching for a new purpose. Like, it's gonna, like, knowing the CW, I can tell it's gonna be that kind of story. Like, she's gonna have to choose and it's gonna have to analyze both those characters. And oh god, I feel like I'm already spoiling myself for what's ahead. But either way, you know what? It's I guess I just have to put myself through it. I just have to put myself through it. So we'll see. We will see. But it was cool nonetheless. It was really great. And yeah, the emotional stuff. Where do I start with the emotional stuff? There's like so much to talk about. So much to talk about. There's Alex and Kelly. There's so much good Alex and Kelly content. There was amazing. I was about to say, Katie and Jesse, sure, but Lena and Brainy content. Then there's amazing Lena content, Lena solo content. I refuse to include Lex's name, Lena solo content. There's just so much to talk about. I don't know what to. I think Alex and Kelly, because there's also the ending. There's also the ending regarding Alex and Kelly to talk about. Alex was even more and more off the brink of hope. She was literally hanging on by her fingernails, if anything, and even like her first scene in the episode being her curled up on the sofa, very, very tearfully and not so blissfully watching Kara's last will and testament recorded on the recording crystals and stuff. And even the part we get to where when we get to it, the part she's watching is actually Kara describing her kind of introduction to Earth being through the help and the aid and the companionship of Alex as her sister. So, not the easiest part for her to watch. But I mean, none of it should be easy to watch because it's going to be like again, that's the kind of thing you consume. That's like a Last Will and Testament is the kind of thing you consume when you know and accept and are ready to move on with the fact that someone you know and love is dead. So she has pretty much lost that hope. She's actually actively going through, very, very kind of hopeless trauma in the sense that, even if, because I think it's definitely that thing where it's viewing one particular point of the plot or one point of the story, but then, seeing how your experience differs because you as an audience member know that one thing is different to how the character is experiencing it. So we as viewers know Kara is alive, she's actively working to find her way back, and she's alive and well and safe and still fighting to stay alive, but then also working to get her way back. But then from Alex as a character, from her point of view, there's no hope, they tried opening up the Phantom Zone and then they got a handful of Phantoms as a consequence of it, and now they even have to deal with more Phantom stuff going on with Silas and with McGunn and the creation of more Phantoms and all that kind of jazz. So she's just continuously in a loop of losing hope, being told not to lose hope in losing Kara, but also wanting to actually reach some kind of. Because I think it's also that case of okay, so everyone around, most of the people around her are actively fighting to get her back, and then Alex herself, is just kind of struggling to maintain that kind of mindset. But then at the same time, it's what if at the end of all this, she really was right all along, and she feels kind of even more stupid for even having had the slightest thought of, maybe they're right, maybe she's still alive, and then a few months later she finds out, oh no, she's definitely gone, and all this time I could have been actually preparing myself to deal with this, but now I've just feel even more naive and stuff. So it's definitely that kind of watching it, at least it definitely feels like that kind of journey of hopelessness and grieving and everything. So not easy to watch that. And and again, Kyla is just an incredible actress too. She her and Melissa have worked on this series for so damn long and so damn hard to eloquently portray that kind of sisterhood between Kara and Alex, and actually showing the troubles they've gone through and the triumphs they've achieved and everything. So this final season is going to pull out some stops. I can tell that from 3 episodes in. This season is going to pull out some stops, emotionally speaking, and it's a very, very kind of it's a very, very surreal kind of final season kind of journey that we're about to experience. I can tell that much, but it's going to be one for the ages, and I can only hope that wherever the characters go from here, hopefully it's a much happier journey. But I think again, it's very necessary to actually have some negative feeling, so some negatively emotional impacts actually, executed pretty early on to show exactly how they go from like a very sad point A to a much higher and more optimistic point B and everything. So yeah, and Kelly is golden. Kelly is freaking golden as always. She's incredible. She's there for her girlfriend. She is there, and she is. I love she. I think easily one of my favorite moments, like her actually seeing the Phantom coming in, is instead of like the first thing she does is she picks up the metal pole thing and tries to actually fight, but like regardless of whether or not she has superpowers, she will literally do anything to stand her ground, and I love her for that. But then she actually got some. I think she got some like ice burns. I'm assuming that must be like an actual sci-fi thing exclusive to the Phantoms within the fiction of the story. Because I don't know if ice burn is actually like a thing in real life, because ice cannot burn you. You can get frostbite from ice, but ice cannot. I think again, to my knowledge, ice cannot in any way burn you. That is the purpose of heat. But she got a hand injury, a very minor hand injury, but a hand injury nonetheless for her efforts. But she still tried. And even Kelly, I think it was even surprising to see Kelly being like, she felt like she had failed to see someone. So I think I like it when it's a two-way street. It's not always just Kelly telling Alex that it's not always Kelly feeling like it's not like she feels like she has to, but it's like she actively wants to. She is that kind of person. She actively wants to help people. She wants to uplift them. She wants to encourage people to strive higher and to actually be better and to be more positive and everything. It's not just a be positive and everything will be fine thing. But it's like if you have negative shit going on in your head, embrace that, let it out, do whatever you need to do. And especially with Alex feeling like giving up and just moving on, and even struggling with that kind of thing. She's like, this is when you actually pick yourself up by the reins and you do whatever it takes to get back to a higher point again and do something good. So, but with this, then Kelly herself did also kind of suffer some kind of mental backlash from feeling like she even failed to do something right or to actually be good, or the fact that or the fact that she felt like she couldn't even stand over. I mean, her main complaint was like she couldn't save anyone, which it's not entirely true. I think it's going up against Phantoms, it's a hard enough thing, but also Jean kind of suffering the brunt of his own powers, actually trying to restore Magan's soul and everything. But I think again, I like that it's a two-way street with Alex actually reciprocating that kind of encouragement and kind of motivational speak with Kelly and reassuring her that she is as amazing as she's ever been, and the fact that she tried at all makes her as good as she is and as pure as she is. And we've reached the next stage. We've actually gone into the next stage of their relationship. They're moving in together. They're moving in. This is some prime time final season content. Them actually embracing the next stage of their relationship. I mean, who knows? The finale could very easily end with a proposal or something. I think I would not be surprised if the finale literally had a Kelly proposing to Alex or vice versa. A proposal in general. I would not be surprised if the finale had that. But this is also the pretty prime final season content. Them moving in together, that's a huge step, and them actually being ready to do that, and also just Alex's speech, just Alex's word, her reasoning, she actively wants to wake up next to Kelly and tell her she loves her, and she actively wants to wake up next to the person she loves and to be with her and to actually be reminded of all the good things she has in her life, and to actually be reminded that things aren't so bad all the time, and to actually, for her, that would definitely be starting the day off on a positive note. That waking up next to Kelly would just be the instant, that would be the wake up call that she gets before she even has coffee. So yeah, waking up like that, instant serotonin boost, instantaneous, just instant serotonin boost. So that is amazing. I love them for at least going that far to actually have them ready to move in, and it even plays out like a proposal. It literally plays out literally the only thing that would have made it more like an actual marriage proposal would have been her opening up a box and giving her a key. If they did that, oh my god, if they did that, I would have just passed out or something. But no, in terms of wording and in terms of the actual way it was written, and even Kelly being like, yes, I'll do this. It was literally pretty much just portrayed as an actual marriage proposal. Literally, the only thing missing, a key in a box. If that happened, just love hearts exploding everywhere and everything. So yeah, but either way, it was cool. It was super cool. So I'm very happy for them and very glad to see that they are being treated right as the couple that they are, as the characters that they are, and actually moving forward with some semblance of positivity and hope. And and I feel like it's maybe a sign that for them working together and being together for them is a win. So I feel like getting Kara back could be an even bigger win that kind of pushes them towards proposing or like going one step further in their actual kind of romantic relationship and actually doing something more and actually so that again I'm not fully expecting a proposal until the finale. I'm not expecting a proposal until the finale, but this alone is a great sign. It's a great sign that they are destined to be together. So hats off to the writers and hats off to Kyla and Ozzy. Hats off to them for portraying this relationship so eloquently and for doing it so well. So I can't wait to see what's next in store for them. But yeah, they are great. They are awesome. They're awesome. So I can't wait to see what the future of the season has in store. So yeah. And then we had Lena. I'm gonna. Which one should I talk about first? Should I talk about Lena and Brainy? I think, yeah. You know what? I'll talk about Lena and Brainy because that one blew me away. That one was like a one hit kind of hit you like a ton of bricks. But Lena versus Lex was gradually building up to one incredible climax. I'll talk about Lena and Brainy first. Yeah, Lena and Brainy again. Katie and Jesse are incredible. They are both phenomenal actors. They really nail their roles, and like they pretty much like even if the script they get isn't anything amazing or is decent at best, like they still take their roles, they still take their scripts, they still take their characters and just embellish them beyond any other kind of compare. So like Katie and Lena and Brainy being two characters from two very different backgrounds, they are always like they're always so surprisingly similar, and they work so well together. Like they're two very intellectual kinds of people. So that's like it's like one of the reasons they work well together. But then with this scene taking place after everything that's happened in season 5, I feel like this is easily one of the biggest kind of high points of their friendship together and like everything they've been through. And like Brainy was just pissed. Like he was ready to murder a TV. He was ready to kill a TV because he was pissed off at Lex. Even him talking to the TV, like, no, you should be rotting away in a prison. You don't deserve to live. And I'm just gonna punch a hole through this wall-mounted TV. Like he was actively ready to actually even kill Lex. Even the way he described killing Lex, my God, my guy was about to turn into Dexter Morgan, just, like, oh, we'll, make sure it's slow and painful, and then we'll dismember his body and scatter across space and time and just make sure it decomposes very, very quickly, too. So, we kill him slow, but then we decompose him quickly. Like, Brainy was about to turn into a homicidal dude like Lex or something. He was so full of anger that he was actively putting like the majority of his brain power into devising a plan. Like even the way he described it, you knew he had been thinking about that stuff on the down low. He had been thinking about it, but then Lena actually talking to Lena gave him like an outlet to express those thoughts. Like, oh, I've been thinking about this. Okay, so first we set fire to his house or do some kind of electric trap, and then we dismember his body, and then we just blast it into atoms across outer space and stuff like that. So he had been thinking about it, and he was literally this close to doing it. He was literally this close to doing it, but he wanted it to be a partnership thing with Lena and stuff. So yeah, that one, it made me kind of shocked in the moment, but even looking back now, it makes me laugh in like a very, very scared kind of way. Like, okay, Brainy, cool down the kind of Halloween serial killer vibe and just think about what you're trying to do and say for a second. But even like Lena again, like even him referencing like Lena being like oh, Brainy, we can't kill him. And he's like, what do you mean we can't? Like, we can kill him, and you have killed him. That is proof that we can kill him. And it's like, no, but we shouldn't. And Lena even then taking the more the more necessarily dramatic turn, being like, killing him was something she herself did out of anger. Like initially, she literally just wanted to end him and to end the suffering. But then what followed was pretty much all of season 5, like her being manipulated into the truth by Lex and being treated as just lesser than by Lex because of her lack of knowledge of the truth and everything. And then season 5, like her taking out all of her anger really secretively and really manipulatively on Kara and the rest of the team and everything. So like even her acknowledging that is really powerful and stuff. Like her saying like killing Lex, what it led to, like why she did it maybe, but also like mainly like the stuff that it led to. was pretty much her becoming the darkest version of herself, and it was a version of, it's a version of herself that she's not really proud of, and a version of herself that she does not want to have to revisit. So yeah, like I'm proud of how far she's come for that. Like, again, season 5 Lena is like, it's her being tormented by her own loneliness and her own kind of, like her being led to believe that she can't really trust anyone because no one trusts her, and then believing that she has to work with the Luthers and that she is a Luther, and that that's why no one believes in her. So it's hard to watch her go through that. But then with this one, it's good to see her acknowledging that that's not who she really is. That's as a product of trauma and being lied to and being kept in the dark for years and stuff like that. So her actually coming to that kind of conclusion was really, really cool. And even her acknowledging that her own advice from seasons back of being like, oh, you take your feelings and you put them into itty bitty boxes and then shove them deep down and work on something else, like compartmentalization. That's not. I mean, I don't even know if that's what compartmentalization is, but like that kind of thing, like pushing your feelings away and pushing them down, does not work. That is literally scientifically proven to be harmful more than anything else. So acknowledging your feelings again, like Kelly will often say, like, acknowledging your feelings, positive or negative, and especially negative, is the only way to truly move forward. Acknowledging your feelings, even if you want to kill someone, if you want to hate someone, if you want to express your anger like that, if you want to, it's why punching bags and screaming into a pillow and breaking things and yelling and screaming, like those techniques help, and they exist because they help because they exist, and also exist because they help. And I don't know, maybe it's a vice versa thing, but either way, it's a thing that exists. You should definitely partake in it. And like, it's not like you should go out of your way to kill someone just to do it. But it's like, unleash your anger. And I think, again, sure, it wouldn't be any more legal than killing him, but I'm sure you could just ambush him and beat the crap out of him, and things would, still work out in the end. I think, he'd probably still report you or try and have you killed in return. But either way, him destroying the iPad was probably like a safer bet. Like, they're still within the same vicinity. No one's gonna arrest them for destroying technology, especially technology that they own. But yeah, I think that scene also hit me as well. Like Jesse is phenomenal. Like him just breaking that and yelling and screaming. Like he hates Lex, he hates him. Again, Katie and Jesse are just phenomenal together. They are phenomenal, and their characters as a result are really, really great together. Like like whether it's a scene like this or it's a scene where they're actually doing really high tech sciencey stuff and working together to help save the team and to help save the world. Like whatever kind of scene it is, Lena and Brainy are like a duo, like a dynamic duo. They know their tech, they know their science, they know their they know their individual badass skills and stuff. They've got skills and they're not afraid to use them, and just seeing them working together is just always just it's a blessing. But then seeing them actually communicating and actually getting to know one another and actually interacting and being people with each other is even more of a blessing, because it shows that like even Brainy, like he's not even human, but he's not human at all. He's Coluan even organically, but he still has some human characteristics about him, and I think I'd like to think it's also like a byproduct of actually interacting with humans in the 21st century too, and actually being with them, and even being with Lena, like coming to understand Lena as a person too, and actually respecting and enjoying working with her and enjoying being with her as a friend too. Like that kind of thing helps, and Lena as well, like interacting with Brain, like their relationship together, it's just it's just like a highlight. It's pretty much like definitely like a highlight of this show down the line. Like further on down the line, it's definitely a highlight, and just seeing them do stuff, and even and again, I think this scene especially proves that they are the two people that can actually confide in each other when they're too afraid to go to anyone else, or whether they're too like not really as close with anyone else. Like Brainy and Lena are like, again, it's like a duo that you wouldn't. Me personally, I wouldn't have expected it. I personally wouldn't have expected it to happen, but it's still like it works, and the show is better off for it. The show is indefinitely better off for it. So this scene as a whole kind of highlighted the kind of high points of all the trauma they suffered and all the troubles they've suffered throughout season 5 as a result of Lex and his evil and his cunning and everything. So them two coming together to actually unleash their anger too is just, oh boy, it's something to watch. It's definitely something to watch, and it's proof that they definitely know how to handle their characters, how to handle the script, and how to make it their own and elevate it and everything. So hats off to them. Props to them for doing what they did and for making it so great to watch. So it's truly remarkable. Truly remarkable. But yeah, then we had the equally great content with Lena versus Lex, and yeah, Lena took a step. Lena took a step forward in her own life too. It wasn't just Alex and Kelly moving forward in their lives. It was Lena moving forward in hers in what is unarguably one of the most iconic ways she's actually moved forward and one of the most admirable ways she's moving forward. She's leaving LexCorp or L Corp. I mean, well, I think is it? I mean, I think she probably did mention it was LexCorp. I've always kind of acknowledged it and recognized it as L Corp. But either way, she's leaving the company. She's leaving the company, and Lex behind with it too. So I think I'm wondering if she's actually just gonna leave the family too, because I think she has a very complicated relationship with Lily, and that much is sure to say. But she's more than happy to leave Lex behind and divorce him as even as her adoptive brother and whatever. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like family wise, I don't know how she's gonna move forward from there. I mean, again, Lex, she's more than happy to leave him behind, but then like Lillian, I don't know if she's actually gonna give her a choice of actually going with her and leaving Lex, or if she's just gonna leave her with Lex if that's what she's do. Like like she can't. I think she's not really going to want to stay with someone who still has connections to Lex. I think she might give her that ultimatum, being like, if you want, you can stay with your son, whom you love so very much, or you can leave him and come with me, and you can actually, you have the potential to be good too. You can try something good too, and like, or at least try being good for a change, and leaving Lex behind and then seeing the world through a new lens and all that jazz. So she might give her that ultimatum. So we'll see how it plays. Because I think it happened so quickly and so impactfully in this episode, and we even saw Lex leaving through like one of his own transport portals in the end. So we have no idea where he's going. He's just going to get more. He's the man who has everything. He's going to get more. So I think that might mean that he fights to get his mother onto his side, but then I think Lena still she cares more about herself than she cares about the Luther family at this point. So she's gonna give her the ultimatum, but without fighting for it. She's like, I'm not gonna force you to come with me, but if you want to, then you can. But leave Lex behind. But if you wanna stick around with Lex and help him unleash more of his evil biddings and whatever, then sure, you can stay with him. I really could not care less. So she's just gonna go. She's gonna leave mine. She's gonna join the Super Friends. She's gonna officially be a part of that family. That's gonna be her new family, her only family from now on. The best family she could get. So she's gonna do that, and then I think Lex might actively fight to get Lillian onto his side, and then be like, yeah, great. So now, I don't know, do whatever. But I'm increasingly happy for Lena as well. That took a lot of guts for Lena. Lena has repeatedly just kind of walked past Lex and let Lex walk past her in a very, very harmful sense. Even this episode was one final kind of back and forth. Like Lex does not Lex enjoys winning the fights with Lena. He enjoys actually, like he even said he even said to Lena like, oh, you don't hate the cat and mouse game, you just hate losing. So he doesn't even like the game itself is like a drop in the bucket compared to more of the eventful things going on in his life. But he then considers every victory over Lena like a more boastful victory. So he enjoys winning the game than he does actually playing the game against Lena. So he's pissed off at that, and I think it's also that kind of ego. He actively wants Lena to have to push everything else in her life aside just to have to worry about him. He wants there to be someone like Lena who, or at least he wants to. I think like having Superman and Supergirl as enemies makes sense to him, but then Lena, he actively wants there to be someone that he can manipulate, someone he can actually pull into like a very, very trickstery kind of game and push over at the end of the day and actually kind of push down and treat as different and lesser than him. So he needs Lena to be that kind of pawn in his life. He needs someone to give him those victories and make him feel good and smart about himself again. And Lena refuses that, and that's the most insulting thing. So it's like, wow, you really won't let me beat you anymore by humiliating you and undermining you and doing all this stuff. Like that is what he takes insult over more. So yeah, but I think that is also a classic kind of hero thing. Like I've seen it happen in a bunch of different things. Like like they take the villain's money, like they take something the villain loves and then use it for a good, use it for a good purpose. Like that's also like a common trope. Oh, the villain hates helping people. Take their money and donate it to like a really, really good charitable cause. Like, and in this case, it's definitely that kind of thing too. Like Lex himself is doing illegal operations. He's using it to buy super weapons or something from Casnia. And so it's like, instead of instead of letting it go there, instead of actually leaving it in his account to be transacted to there, actually send it to the Luthor wing, to like the actual Luthor wing at the children's hospital instead, to then actually have them do that. And then as soon as he finds out, Lex goes straight back to making it as illegal as possible again. So yeah, I don't know. I think the children may not have been hurt. I mean, because I think in the end, I think in the final scene she did mention that he hurt innocent children. So I think she didn't say killed. She didn't specify killed. And I can't remember if it actually said on the news report if they had actually died or if there were any kind of casualties suffered. But either way, as soon as he mentioned sending Otis in, I figured, yeah, something's gonna go incredibly wrong. And then I just didn't really think about it enough to realize, oh, he's gonna try and sabotage the place. So then Otis does actually go in, probably dressed as like some kind of like, probably not dressed as a faulty engineer, because I think if he did that, then there would be witnesses saying like, oh, there was a guy who came in under like the authority of Lena Luthor, like an engineer who came in, and then he went out, and then suddenly everything was on fire. So they'd probably be able to point that in his direction. But then, so then it'd probably like him sneaking in as Otis Graves, and then actually meddling with the electrics, and then starting a fire and everything. So yeah, so then and not only that, but then he frames on Lena, since she apparently was the one who was meant to be overseeing all the kind of health and safety and electrical kind of. She was responsible for the upgrades. She was responsible for all the recent upgrades in the Luthor wing. So he managed to frame it on her and then put her under even more heat, metaphorical over literal. But I think I'm hoping the kids were okay. I think again, I didn't catch any deaths on the news article, and she didn't really mention that he killed any kids just to get back at her, just like hurt them. So worst case scenario, there are some injuries, but best case scenario, they got everyone out in time, and hopefully the fire was, the fire was put out, but hopefully the fire didn't do too much damage either, because then that could also easily damage equipment, and that could, halt treatments, and that could still lead to, slower deaths down the road. So, Lex is just a maniac. He is the worst possible human being to ever exist. So yeah, so again, a very brief game of cat and mouse that they played, and then in the end, Lena executed the iconic. So I think this whole thing was Operation Vengeance. It was like a plan between Brainy and Lena to try and actually exact some kind of like moral vengeance over Lex and all the stuff that he's done. So again, that partnership is amazing. So simply by looking at the screen and doing his own Brainiac stuff with the cyborg parts in his brain and whatever, like he was able to actually just look at it and then transfer that money immediately, and then stuff happened. But in the end, Lena did what she needed to. She did what she realized she needed to do. Which was actually just leave. She just needed to walk away. Like enough trying to get one over on Lex, enough trying to beat Lex at his own game, enough trying to beat Lex at all. Literally just walk away, just push him out of your life. She even acknowledged it in that exact specific way. Like she needed to actually remove the toxicity and all that kind of negative energy from her life, and pretty much all of it emanated from Lex, like body odor, like supremely toxic mental and physical body odor. So yeah, she just took like the world's largest can of Axe body spray and just sprayed him out the window and everything. That's an amazing visual. But she took him out. She took him out of her life and is walking away. And again, his reaction is like, "Oh, you can't possibly stop playing with me. Like I'm your only ever kind of worthy adversary. I'm the one you can't help but stop beating." He thinks that beating him is what makes her life worth living, and and it's like the one important thing going on in her life. But no, I think it's also very easily projection. It's also very easily projection. For him, the truth is that he can't live without beating Lena and being better than Lena, and reminding her that she will never be better than him, and that she's nothing without him either. So it's just literally his ego and his pride projecting, and him wanting to be meaningful him wanting to mean something to someone beyond just being the enemies of Kryptonians and aliens everywhere as well. So he wants to be like an enemy to humans too. So yeah, but Lena was having none of it. She was like, you know what? I don't care. And again, like Lena herself, like she is so much more than Alcor too. Like she built herself up because she herself is a successful and resourceful and extremely talented businesswoman herself. She has done all of that herself. It's not with her actually seeking advice. I mean, she has seeked advice when necessary, but it's not simply due to her seeking advice from other people and actually constantly asking what other people think. It's actually her coming to decisions on her own and her being like a successful entrepreneur on her own as well. So she could easily start up her own business again. I think, I'm pretty sure even just having left LexCorp, she can still kind of extract her own, like similar to how Andrea extracted her own funds from Obsidian. She could actually extract her own funds, and Andrea and Lena could start their own business. Andrea and Lena could very, very, very easily start their own. Because of Obsidian's reputation, it might be difficult for Andrea, but then if they put their heads together and actually come up with something, then they could very easily come up with their own business of whatever kind, whatever it is, whether it's science and technology is pretty much their kind of forte, so they could easily come up with something new. But yeah, again, Lena and Andrea could team up and they could start their own company, and it could even help the Super Friends too. And stuff, or maybe she could actually go kind of or maybe she could even do like a co-ownership of Catco. They could do like a shared ownership of Catco together, and Lena being the science and tech forefront, she could do like security or science or like computer science or something. She could do anything. They could do anything together, and they would be unstoppable. So the possibilities are endless. I'm just hoping the writers don't mess it up. But yeah, there's so much to do. I mean, if she wants to do her own thing, she could. But then she also has the option of actually sticking back with her friend, her closest personal friend, Andrea, or one of her closest personal, one of her oldest friends, Andrea, and actually, partnering up with a fellow businesswoman too, and actually doing some great things and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really good. It's good to see her moving away from Lex. First of all, I think in the coming episodes we'll see exactly what she decides to move forward onto, what new path she decides to take and everything. So yeah, even in this episode, she was already using her science skills and her resources outside of LexCorp, even using the computer to reroute the coordinates and everything on the teleporter, and actually helping the team capture and contain the Phantom. So Lena is a skilled woman. She's an incredibly skilled woman, an incredibly skilled tech person, and she knows her stuff. Like all the fields that she studies and works in, she knows her stuff. She knows those fields, and she's very, very resourceful and very, very handy to have around. But she's also like a strong, and she's literally like strong and independent by herself. And if she chooses to partner up with someone, then it's going to be with someone she trusts and knows to respect her and to see her as like an equal and valid kind of partner as well. So going forward, I have very high hopes for Lena's kind of character and her future and everything. And part of it is down to Katie. So Katie McGrath is just she alone is just an incredible actress. But Katie McGrath has also kind of personified Lena in a way that I can't really imagine many other people playing her. So it's amazing to see. But yeah, hats off to Lena. Hats off to Lena. Just she walked away from Lex and she's walking on to a much brighter path. So I can't wait to see what it is. And we also had some interesting stuff with M'gann and Jean too. Jean being so worried about losing M'gann to the Phantom Strategist. I think the one they haven't managed to actually to de-transform is Silas. Silas is still one of the captured Phantoms. The Prime Phantom, the one that actually made it through, still teleported away. But the de-transformed Phantoms, one of them is still Silas, so they have to work on actually transforming him back again. But then they actually managed to actually stop the transformation from going any further. Like with M'gann, she still started to get her fingernails turned into claws and everything like the thing, and reminded me, a lot of the werewolf transformation of It from Teen Wolf, but very, very understandably very different, very, very alien. But they managed to save her. And stop her from transforming, so that was cool. And even her own relationship with John was tested and improved a little bit, with her being so ready and impulsive to actually run into battle with the Phantoms and then paying the price. And even John, even John in this episode, kind of reeling in from having to think more as a soldier than as a father, so thinking more logically than emotionally, and actually fighting to save his teammates and his family in a more logical way too. So seeing their relationship was tested, seeing their relationship kind of taking its own turns and kind of steps forward was interesting. I'm curious to see where they go from here, because I haven't really. I won't lie. I think because we haven't really seen much of her even in the past season. I think I've kind of been not as invested in their relationship, but then seeing more of her now and here. I'm hoping for this final season she will be a season kind of regular of some sorts. I'm hoping it will give me the chance to actually kind of look more at who they are and how they are together, and hopefully seeing their relationship blossom into something further and something more. So that would be cool. But yeah, I think in terms of sight, I think I'm still hoping that that they actually run into Silas. I think if they can if Kara can run into Princess Nixley in the Phantom Zone, then hopefully she can actually run into other survivors, to other people who were there, who were trying to find a way out and like who actually deserve some freedom. Because not all of them are criminals. Like Kara got sent in. Her father escaped into the Phantom Zone, not by choice, but just like as a quick escape route. And Nixley was banished to the Phantom Zone, but she's not a criminal. She was only banished because her father was a jealous asshole and everything. So I think that's also an interesting way to look at it too. Like for so long, the Phantom Zone has been used as a prison, but not everyone in there is actually a prisoner. So I think that's also like a good reason, a good way to kind of have Kara and those two kind of stumble across Owen and finding him and finding out that he's also like another lost soul who deserves redemption and who deserves freedom too. So I think it'll be cool seeing them. But then again, if they actually come across the whole thing where it's like, oh, you and one other person can go through, but no one else, or maybe it's like one at a time too, but then something still goes wrong with the portal. I feel like that's the turn they're gonna take. I feel like it's not gonna be. I mean, as much as I want it to be happy endings, I feel like like they might kind of punish us with one like unhappy ending here, just to kind of throw us off and just to kind of throw us off the trail of fully happy endings. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But seeing how things parallel from here and there is really, really cool. Seeing how the different journeys and different paths go from the Phantom Zone to Earth Prime. So it'll be fun to see where it all ends. It'll be fun to see where it all leads. So yeah, hopefully good stuff ahead. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That is pretty much all I've got from this episode. So it was a very fun one. It was fun to watch. It wasn't exactly all fun to process and enjoy, but I think tier 4 content can still be good, enjoyable content. Stuff that makes you feel can still be enjoyable to some degree. Like if nothing ever makes you feel ever, if none of the media you ever consume makes you feel anything ever, then it's not exactly very realistic. And also, if it makes you feel nothing but happy, then it's also, not entirely realistic. But I think that also depends on the content. But besides, anyway, regardless of the tears, happy and sad, it was still a very enjoyable episode. So I can't wait to see where they go from here and where they take the characters from here. So that will be in the next one. But yeah, that is it for this one. That's it for this episode. So that was Supergirl, Season 6, Episode 3. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of this episode and what you think is coming up next time on Supergirl. Once again, the full-length reaction for this episode will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is it. So, I will see you guys next time.